welcome to the String Theory Podcast, Episode 3. My name is Emily Peterson, and this is a podcast about knitting and sewing and making a handmade wardrobe. I live in Brooklyn, New York with my boyfriend Tim and my cat Lola, you can see in the background. Hi, Lola! She's adorable. It's been a few weeks since I talked to you last, so I'm going to start with a finished object! Yay! This is my kitty hat. I think you know what that means. The ends aren't woven in, and I'll tell you why. But, I love it! It's so cute! It actually looks really good on screen. I was thinking that I was gonna have to knit it again because it's really loose. It doesn't look too loose, but it's only gonna get bigger, so I might have to knit it again. I don't know. Not now, because it's obviously too hot to wear anything like this right now, which is great. But I used Kindred Red Rad DK, which was so amazingly soft, and then the mohair is Debbie Bliss Angel. I'm really happy with it, and it kept me warm for like a minute, but I think that I'm gonna frog it and do the same over again. But I might wait until the fall to do that, because I'm not gonna wear it until the fall anyway. But brioche is really fun, you guys. I want to do all the brioche now. I love it. Okay, so let's get into whips next. And I have a couple of things to talk about. The first is the Mockery Rochelle, because the last time we talked, I talked extensively about this, and it's been 3 weeks since I recorded that last episode, even though it's only been 2 weeks since I published it. But I've done a lot of thinking about it since then, and I've done a lot of knitting on other things since then, and I think I'm just gonna frog this part. Because the lace, I don't know, now I'm holding up and I'm not holding it up and I'm not sure. But the lace is not turning out to be what I want it to look like. I think that this lace looks a lot better. And I don't think this white part fits, really. I think there's too much going on, and I really, really liked this. I really like it up until here. It looks really beautiful, you know? Oh my god, this wool it's hot today, so this is like really hot to be holding up next to my body. Basically, I don't really know what to do with this. I think that I'm gonna frog this lace part. I really don't want to frog all of this because I kind of liked this. I think I'm going to frog to here and then keep going with the stripes and maybe not do another lace panel, because it's not that I can't do the lace, you know, like I don't really believe in anything being too advanced for me, which is maybe to my detriment, but I don't really want to. I don't, like, right now I'm knitting a lot for stress relief, so it's, I just don't want to do it right now, and I don't think it fits. I don't think the white part fits in. I think there's too much going on with this design, so I'll let you know how that goes. By next week, hopefully I will have, or by next time I podcast, hopefully I will have done something about it. I have to say, like, today it's really hot, and I've been wanting to just knit through all of my stash which doesn't include cotton or linen yarn. So I may not be able to do a lot of summer knitting unless I buy something specifically for summer, but I have all of this stuff in my stash. I'll figure it out, whatever. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is my Find Your Fade shawl. So this is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and everybody and their mother has done it. You didn't see this last week, and I've made so much progress on it. Anyway, so, but I made so much progress on it because honestly, it was all about these needles. These needles came in the mail as a birthday present to me from me. And I just wanted to start knitting on them right away, and, you know, I had all this yarn. Like, when it's in a kit, it just makes it so easy. But I have to say, one thing I was talking about with my boyfriend with the kit is that, like, this Find Your Fade shawl, and if you haven't heard of it, which a lot of people have already done theirs, but if you haven't heard of it, go on Ravelry and look up, Google search Find Your Fade. It's a beautiful, amazing shawl. She uses 7 different colors, and the thing is, for me, because I get really stuck in analysis paralysis all the time. I thought it was beautiful and I really wanted to do it, but it would have been impossible for me to get it, like, make all of the decisions about about all of the yarns that I'm going to include. So because I have I wanted it to be like such a smooth color transition that you couldn't really tell. And that's really hard to find, especially with yarns that are so disparate from different companies, you know. So anyway, my boyfriend bought me this kit, which I talked about last time, and I just I have been finding that so freeing. Just the decisions are already made for me. I can just knit. I'm having a hard time right now in my life and in my work. I really want to quit my job, so I really need the knitting. So just having like a really big project that I can work on that's just knitting is like really, really nice. And doing it on the signature needles is also really, really nice. So that's why I've done so much on it. But then I got to here, and I was like, what was my problem with like striping on this? I mean, like, I love stripes, so like, what's the big deal? But this part really fades nicely, which is beautiful, I think. And that being said, it was kind of difficult to, like, I had to really concentrate on which yarn I was using for a given row because they are so similar in color that it's hard to tell. So that's the Find Your Fade. And this, honestly, this yarn is not the softest because it's knit picks and it's got nylon in it, which honestly doesn't make it not soft by itself, the nylon content, because nylon actually is a soft, it's not a fiber at all, but it's a soft textile. I don't know what it is. It's not the softest, but it'll be nice. It's not the highest quality yarn, but I'm really excited because I have a lot of scraps, so I'm going to do socks, which is going to be really great because I've only ever knitted three pairs of socks in my life, and they both have holes in them. It's just, you have to have nylon when you're making socks. So that's that. This is what I've been obsessively knitting on, and it matches the cow up there. Cows was wearing a scarf. I also have made some progress on my Bronwen sweater. And that's here. So I did a lot on this. And you know what, guys? Like, sweater designing seems so easy. I mean, I say that, and every sweater designer is gonna be like really mad at me, but like maybe I want to design sweaters, is what I'm saying. It looks really good. I like it. I haven't worked on this in a little while. Because the signature needles came in the mail, and so I've been super obsessed with my Find Your Fade. That's all. That's the only reason. It's not that I don't like this. Oh, but also, actually, like, I had run out of stitch markers because I have so many on my Mockery Rochelle, and so I bought these little tiny rings at a jewelry store in Manhattan, like a jewelry bead store, jewelry making. But they have really hard, sharp edges, so I was worried that they were wrecking my needles, and so I wanted to wait to work on it. I used that as an excuse to wait to work on it until some stitch markers came in the mail. And they did. So that's all the progress that I've made. The next thing I want to talk about is a new segment that I'm introducing called Knitting Therapy. And this is where I want to get in touch with you and really get down to brass tacks about how knitting helps, like, you in your life. So it's a call for questions. Please comment and ask me questions. You feel free to ask me anything you want about my own life. I don't have a Ravelry group up. I'm hoping to do that sometime in the near future, but I'm probably gonna have to spend a lot of time this weekend editing this podcast, so it's not up. It's not gonna be up yet. But if you don't mind, leave a comment in the comments section and tell me how you feel about this subject. There's Lola again. Hi Lola, come help me be brave here. So Lola and I wanted to talk to you about something that we've been thinking about all week, and that is giving yourself the gift of knitting. And it might sound cheesy, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about the experience that I've had in the last year with knitting, which has been, I've been on a health quest the last year, a little over the last year, and it's going really well. I lost about 15 pounds with the paleo diet without exercising. I mean, I intend to start exercising a lot more, but I was having a lot of infections, which went away. That being said, because of the infections, I had to take a lot of antibiotics, and my stomach is still messed up because of that. So that's still a journey, and I did a cleanse. She wants to get out, but I don't want to let her because she's so nice to cuddle with. I did a cleanse, and it was so not me. Like, it's so outside of my comfort zone. Anyway, I don't think that like cleanses are very healthy for people if you do them all the time, but like, it was something that I wanted to try, and it did help a little bit. So, one of the things that the people who ran the program were talking about was giving yourself the gift of like doing something that you love. And they said at least 2 hours a week. So I chose knitting. And with that cleanse, we had to do a fast. And so I needed something to do like when I was not eating for a whole 4 days. I know that sounds scary, but I was drinking bone broth with collagen in it, which has protein in it, and I was drinking vegetable juices. And then I started eating right away, 3 meals a day. I'm not anorexic, and I've never had a problem eating. That's why this was not a normal thing for me. I don't know how much I'm going to actually put of this up. So I needed something to do during that time. I had a gift certificate to Pearl Soho, and it was summertime, so I wanted to make something with linen. And what I ended up getting there was not really right for the pattern that I had chosen, and I dropped $100 on yarn. I mean, including my $50 gift card, it was only $50, but still the total was really like such big sticker shock for me. So I freaked out, but then I just knit with it, and it was the loveliest experience, and it really kickstarted this creative unlocking, that I had been stuck some kind of, it just like, I just put so much stress, it got so much stress out, and I've been knitting every day since then. I started knitting a long time ago, and I was really into it, and I used to feel just like I didn't let myself buy the yarn because it was expensive, and then when I did let myself buy the yarn, I would hoard it and not knit with it because I wanted it to be perfect. Because I wanted, like, if I'm spending that much money, I wanted it to be absolutely perfect and or the best knitting experience ever. And nothing ever lives up to that. Nothing ever does. You have to just do it. This is me telling myself, you have to just do it because this is me just doing it. This podcast is not perfect. There's a lot that I'm really embarrassed about it. But I'm doing it because I don't know why. It scares me, and the reason I'm doing it is that I really want to reach out to people out there who are knitters and who want help with their knitting or want somebody to talk to and hear them. I really want to hear from you. So if you're out there, I know that I don't have very many people who watch this podcast, but if you do watch it, please make a comment and subscribe. Obviously, I'll put a page up at the end where you can find all my Instagram, all of the ways to contact me, Instagram, Ravelry, and Gmail right now. I'm working on having a website soon. So I'll leave you with that. I want you to give yourself the gift of knitting because you're worth it. And don't waste any time. Don't waste all that time. Like when I just told you, this is a really I feel like I'm switching back and forth on this story. Just don't waste any time. you're worth beautiful yarn. You deserve beautiful yarn. You deserve beautiful handmade items in your life. And, that's not to give you I don't want to give you license to just like buy a bunch of yarn and don't use it. Like, don't go over your, don't buy yarn instead of food or anything. Obviously, like, if you don't have a little bit of savings, don't do this. But if you do have a little bit of savings at least, and you need it, for your mental and emotional health, it's worth it. It's totally, totally worth it. And that stuff that you knit, you're going to have forever. Probably if you knit it for yourself, you're going to have it forever. And like, also giving yourself the gift of knitting something for yourself, because I think that like when I didn't used to do this, it was much easier for me to justify buying yarn when I was making a gift for somebody else. But then like there's, I first started getting seriously into knitting in 2008 probably, and it's 2017 and I have really I have a hat, I have 2 pairs of socks that have holes in them. I have a lot more from the last year, but like, I have nothing to show for it. I have nothing to show for this passion that I feel about knitting. So don't waste that time like I did. Get knitting for yourself and spoil yourself a little bit. Treat yourself. Okay, so I think that I've rambled a little bit too much. There was no real arc to that story, but I hope that I got my point across. Anyway, it was really lovely to speak with you guys. I hope that I hear from you, and I hope that you're well. Thanks for watching.